So it is time, finally and happily, for my favorite of the Halo games, Halo Reach.
The original prequel. The first prequel ever made.
Yeah, before Halo, there was never another prequel. This is what Halo fans tell me. Actually, what Halo fans tell me about Reach is that they hate Halo Reach. And this is because of something that we have brought up so many times across this entire series so far.
Do we finally get to talk about the supplement material?
Well, I don't, because I've never interacted with it, but Skell, why don't you tell us about how this game is terrible because it's nothing like the book, Halo: The Fall of Reach?
Okay, so there was this book, Halo: The Fall of Reach. It was about a team of Spartans who were on Reach when it came under attack by the Covenant. And it is a series of efforts made by this small team to try and either stop or stall the Covenant so that the UNSC can repel them and protect Reach, ultimately ending in their failure and the destruction of the planet.
Spoilers.
Hey, wait a second, hold on, that's... So yeah, no, the funny thing about Reach, and people not liking Reach for being like the book, is that the book and the game are, in broad strokes, the same story, just told differently. The characters are different in terms of, like, named characters. The way events play out are very different. Personally, I think that the story of the book is a much more interesting story than the story of the game. However, I do not think that Halo Reach has a bad story. I do think it has a story that is not given enough time to be told.
Well, that's a sin the entire series commits, because
Yes.
Bungie wants players in and out over the course of a weekend. They don't want to give their story or their characters room to breathe and to grow and come into their own, because if they did that, then they couldn't sell you the books, they couldn't sell you the comics, and they couldn't sell you the movies. And that brings us to something I want to discuss right now, and probably as the story goes along, but maybe not. The expectations and the burden of slaving yourself to this much external media, and how Halo Reach is kind of an attempt to break away from it 9 years into the franchise's history, when it is already chained up like some sort of Master Chief Jacob Marley amalgam.
It's honestly not a good move, but at the same time, it's the only move you can really make, right? Basically, Bungie put themselves in check, where they had to put up or shut up with regards to the extended universe, and they decided to finally flip the board, which is something they should have done from day one.
Yeah, because here's the thing about putting so much stake into media that you don't know whether or not your fans will have interacted with. You have decisions to make, and the decision that's most important is, do you proceed as if the players have read all the books, read all the comics, watched all the movies, or do you proceed as if they don't know anything about what's been going on between games? And Bungie pretty consistently expects you, the player, to have read everything. It's the reason Halo 3 was like that.
Yeah.
Halo 2 did a fine job of introducing all these new concepts that I'm sure existed in the books prior, but the reaction to the story of Halo 2 was largely negative, from what I understand. So it scared Bungie away from doing it again, and then you get Halo 3 that's just a series of events that are setting up a book series. And Halo Reach is different, because it is a self-contained story. It leads into literally the opening cutscene of Halo 1, but it does so without any expectations of you, the player.
There's actually a great irony in this too, right? Because I'm gonna bring up the book again. Don't worry, viewer. I'm not gonna bring it up too many times. This is probably the last time I'll bring it up. To be honest, it's been a long time since I've read them. You have often talked about how in the supplemental material people have said that, oh, the Master Chief, he's a great character, read this book, read that book, right? And how in the games the Master Chief is a cardboard cutout, right?
Yeah.
That spits one-liners. The irony is, the game where Bungie decided to break away from being shackled to the supplemental material was the exact game where if they had told the story of the book, it actually would have informed you a lot about the Master Chief's character. So, take from that what you will, but Bungie chickened out from giving the Master Chief a proper backstory in one of the games.
Interesting choice.
Which is probably why people dislike the story of this game so much, because a lot of that emotional turmoil that you hear about so often is actually illustrated in The Fall of Reach. And then, yeah. But here's the thing. At the end of the day, even though I liked the book, I think that the story of Halo Reach is a fine enough story for a Halo game. It's probably better than pretty much all the others. I think it's the best written of all the stories that are in the games.
For sure. I think this is definitely Bungie's best story.
And, honestly, it's my favorite, like, campaign out of the series. So yeah, with that, we'll have to go forward. I probably won't actually bring up the supplemental material as much as I seem to have, like, set up. But,
well, it's weird because, again, like, this is basically a standalone game.
Yeah.
I think this game is best looked at as a standalone. Like,
Yeah.
if you were to just go up into the top left corner and, like, take out the word Halo and just call this, like, Reach's Last Stand or Protect Reach or something, you know, a marketing guy could come up with a better name. But nothing about this game is about Halo, the series or otherwise, except for a couple small points, and those could easily be rewritten to be something else. And I think there, if you remove it from its own burdens of chronologically future canon, it is a great little nugget of, as Skell said, a team of super soldiers. You know, let's take away the name Spartan. Maybe we'll call them, like, Blood Knights. A team of Blood Knights protecting the planet Grasp from the evil collective aliens, right?
Yeah.
And spoilers, they don't succeed. You know, if you haven't heard the people in Halo 2 and 3 and ODST talking about remember Reach, or this is for Reach, or wow, it sucks that the planet Reach was utterly and systematically destroyed by an invading alien force 700 million times what we could muster, the opening cutscene shows your dead body. Like...
yeah.
Which is another thing. This game, you don't play as the Master Chief. You play as an ODST, an unnamed character referred to only as Noble 6, because you are the 6th, and in Skell's case, 7th, member of Noble Team, which are the Blood Knights, as it were.
You see, that's an interesting thing, though, is that in Reach, we are introduced to the Spartan 3s, which is another thing from the books, right? But it's funny because this is the only time they're mentioned in the franchise.
Yeah, we are Spartan 3s. Master Chief is a Spartan 2. This information, these 2 points of information, are never brought up in the series. And just remember going forward, Master Chief is, as the instruction manual for Halo 1 said, the last of his kind, in case you thought there was a chance this story could end happily. So anyway, yeah, we've talked long enough. I'm sure you've been enjoying this firefight footage. But let's get into it. Let's meet Noble Team. This is Reach. Once again, we get an establishing shot of our actual location. That's nice.
It is currently on fire.
Lots of craters. This planet seems to have had a lot of impact events in its past.
A lot of tectonic activity too. Look at that mountain.
Yeah.
Yep.
The shot of somebody who totally won.
See, right away they're throwing you into it. It's like, this is Reach.
Yeah.
It's
Somber.
hopeless, right?
Oh look, it's missing something. July 24th.
So a date that is pretty much meaningless. Dates like that don't really matter, sadly.
Well, it does
all this
because
really
we'll
does is-
see the date progressing as the game itself
so
goes on.
it's meaningless beyond establishing a time, right? I don't think anyone ever mentions that date specifically when they talk about Reach in the franchise.
Contact with Visegrad Relay was lost last night. All signals flatlined at 2600 hours. I responded with trooper fire teams, which have since been declared MIA.
And now you're sending us.
The Office of Naval Intelligence believes deployment of a Spartan team is a gross misallocation of valuable resources. I disagree.
Commander.
So that's our new number 6.
Kat, you read her file?
Only the parts that weren't covered in black ink.
Anyone claim responsibility, sir?
Only thinks it might be the local insurrection. 5 months ago, they pulled a similar job on Harmony. Hit a relay to take out our eyes and ears, then stole 2 freighters from dry dock. That cannot happen here. Reach is too damn important. I want that relay back online, Noble One.
Sir, consider it done.
Then I'll see you on the other side. Holland out.
Lieutenant,
Commander, sir.
I'm Carter, Noble Team's leader. That's Kat, Noble 2, Emil and George 4 and 5. You're riding
What a
with
quirky
me, Noble
band of
6.
misfits.
Not gonna lie to you, Lieutenant. You're stepping into some shoes the rest of the squad would rather leave unfilled. Me, I'm just happy to have Noble back up to full strength. Just one thing, I've seen your file, even the parts the Oni censors didn't want me to. I'm glad to have your skill set. But we're a team. That lone wolf stuff stays behind. Clear?
Got it, sir.
So that's them being cheeky about
Welcome to Reach.
the other campaigns in the games being solo.
Yeah. And so this has its comparisons to ODST, like now that I've played ODST, of like, here's a band of people who are like a bunch of different weird military archetypes. I think Reach does a better job having now played
Yeah,
ODST.
it really does. It's a lot less melodramatic.
Like they have their idiosyncrasies, but they largely get along with each other, or at least care enough about getting along that they don't let
Listen up,
anything
Noble
get in the
Team.
way of
We're
doing
looking
their
at a downed
job.
relay outpost 50 clicks from Visegrad. We're gonna introduce ourselves to whoever took it out, and then Kat's gonna get it back online.
Get me under the hood, Commander.
Sir, why would rebels want to cut off Reach from the rest of the colonies?
You get a chance, maybe you can ask him, George.
Very pretty too.
Yeah, we should
Back up
mention
channels.
the
Searching.
shift in art style after this cutscene's done.
You heard her, dead zone confirmed. Command will not be keeping us company this trip.
I'm lonely already.
Oh, we won't have a voice in our ear. Good thing we have our squad with us to back us up.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a lot to unpack when we hit the ground.
There will be. Which is fine.
Yeah.
If you stuck with us this far, you know we like to talk.
Oh, yes.
They're likely, so keep your distance.
Yes, sir.
And I've left the scoring UI on.
You know
Oh,
what?
dear.
That's fine.
Well, that won't be their next mission. Don't get used to
Yeah.
it. Oh, also,
Alright,
here's
so-
Noble 7. Hi.
Hey, hi. I bet I look
Could be the
familiar.
missing
That's
troopers.
deliberate.
Let's check it out. Put us down on the bluff. June, I want your eyes in the sky.
So,
So yeah,
Let's go,
the art
Stick.
style.
Yeah,
All right,
this...
Noble team,
Oh, let's
spread
listen to
out.
him.
Watch the approach.
Alright, so Noble Team's gonna go do their own things. Yeah, the art style. This is still running on an Xbox 360. Not terribly well at the time. It ran better than Halo 3 did, to be perfectly honest.
Structure point 3-4. Looks clear from this angle.
We can hear June over there. That was
Scouting
Emil.
ahead.
Yeah, June's somewhere else. So, yeah, the art style, it's a little desaturated, a little more detail in all the textures. Our armor is bulkier, it's got more bits on it. You can see more obviously that it's meant to be like a proper military suit of armor. So, it's got some scratches, so you see here, like, our legs are a little muddy and dusty. It looks good. Some people don't like this. I really like this.
Something worth pointing out and talking about committing to a more grounded art style is if you look at the first-person view model for the assault rifle, you see the ammo counter and compass. If you look at the bottom of them, you can actually see the rail mount that has the ammo counter clipped on.
And now I know in universe this is a different model of the assault rifle. It's back to the 32 bullets instead of 60. We'll never see the 60 again, sadly. But yeah, it's much more grounded, kind of rougher around the edges compared to Halo 3's very sleek plastic.
Yeah, very sci-fi, right? We're not wearing motocross gear anymore.
No, this looks like you could get punched in the face and not notice. Master Chief previously, in Halo 3, looked like he was wearing like a suit of rubber foam.
Also, yeah, they committed to much more sweeping vistas. They really wanted to show off Reach. So there's a lot more detail in everything, including the skyboxes.
Yeah, the skyboxes are gorgeous.
Yeah, Reach has some of the most beautiful skyboxes in the series. And in video games in general, in my opinion. They really kill it.
Yeah, the art style is, again, the colors are more desaturated, but that does not stop them from using color.
Yeah, there's really smart use of color, and honestly, it feels to me like they just really wanted to recreate the visuals of the concept art they had.
Yeah.
And it feels like they executed on that. So there's one more thing, and I want to talk about story stuff just before we step forward and really kick off the story proper. So they mentioned the insurrectionists. Welcome to a plot point that comes up in this game and in the books, and again in none of the other games. So the insurrection are a bunch of people rebelling against the UNSC and like unified authority in within human space in general. So before all this Covenant War nonsense, the Spartans were made to help fight the insurrection. And then it turned out that they needed them to fight off this giant, all-consuming alien faction that was just annihilating them. But
there you go.
Yeah. So the insurrection are literally just rebels. They're just rebel cells, terrorist cells, I guess you could call them, right?
Sure.
It's it's interesting. It's about as close to political commentary as you're going to get out of Bungie.
Unfortunately,
Halo is.
Unfortunately, we won't be doing any of that. One of the points of complaint that I have with this game being too short is that would have really liked a mission where you fought some of the insurrectionists and got to know Noble Team a little better before the plot of Halo Reach kicks off, but we don't get that. So let's...
No.
We've spent enough time. Let's
Yes.
walk on ahead here. So, already, look. A farm. A terraced farm. We saw a house on our way in. You can see it
saw
down
windmills?
there.
Well, they're wind turbines. To provide power.
And again, these areas are larger than a lot of the stuff you'd get in Halo 3.
Oh, yes.
This game came out in 2010, which was
Roger that. Eyes peeled.
not terribly bumping up against the end of the 360's life cycle. We'll see that next game.
Found the beacon.
Make out any ID?
Negative, but it's military.
So where are the troopers?
So we're already
Why are we
seeing
not seeing
Kat's kind of the
explosives
tech
residue?
lady.
Noble 3, can you confirm any EX residue in the area?
Negative, sir.
Plasma, maybe.
Can't be. Not on Reach.
Oh,
There's a lot of
ominous.
blood on the ground.
All right, Noble, looks like there's nothing here. Let's move on.
So I love this. Our squad is interacting. They're puzzling stuff out. They're talking to each other. They're interacting with the environment.
But be selective. We don't need to telegraph our presence.
Yeah. So you can already get a feel for a couple of the characters already. You know, Carter, the blue guy, he's the leader, Noble 1. Kat, tech lady, she knows electronics. You don't really see what Emil's up to quite yet. But he's got a shotgun and a knife, so like you can surmise he's kind of the punchy heavy. Except
George
there's...
seems to really care about Reach.
Yeah. George is the guy with the heavy gun. He's got a giant machine gun that he carts around, and he's like 10 feet tall on his own.
Well, there's a reason for that. George isn't a Spartan 3 like us.
Oh.
He's a Spartan 2 like the Chief.
Oh, didn't know that.
I'm right behind you.
So... That's
Noble leader,
supposed to
I've
be
seen
his deal.
heat in the structure ahead.
And June, obviously, he's got a sniper rifle.
On your knees, now!
They're not
there's...
rebels. They're farmers. Look at them.
Ask them what they're doing here.
Mitkrestikit.
McNamar Kartuk min Honley.
Hiding, sir.
Take up Adya, Asomsidot Isha Jordadyat. She called us.
Neighbors were attacked last night. He heard screams. Gunfire. Stopped around sunrise. Says something in the fields killed his son.
Something.
Commander, be advised, I'm reading heat signatures in that structure directly east of your position. Over.
Copy that. Get them back inside.
Osman Tom Betholi. Getting.
All right.
Look at this. We're setting up human stakes. We're like... It's tense. We're building tension.
Noble team, double time it.
Ah, a new feature. Sprint.
It only took them how many games?
Don't start that conversation. Reach has these things called armor abilities. Right now, all we have is sprint. You're gonna see the rest of Noble Team using another one.
Mm-hmm.
So they can equip two. Oh, that's a
Fill me in,
bit...
Commander. What are you seeing? Over.
We've got military casualties, 2 of the missing troopers. Looks
That's
like they
pretty
were
grim.
interrogated. It's messy.
Can't quite see it right now, but weapon-wise, you know, we're back to the assault rifle. We have our pistol. It's the Magnum from Halo 1 again. And look what it has.
Finally.
I mean, ODST had the silenced pistol and
Yeah.
had the scope. But this, you know, this is... It has the same little weird front weight thing that blocks the iron sights.
It's meant to be like a flashlight, I think, or a laser sight.
I don't know. It's about as powerful as it was in Halo 1, so...
Yeah.
Carter, however, has a new weapon. It's not the battle rifle, it's the DMR, which stands for Designated Marksman Rifle. Single shot, not 3 burst. We'll get one soon enough. There's a good handful of new weapons in Reach. Some do not return from the previous games, however. We are missing the Mauler, and the carbine is replaced with something we'll see in a bit. There's a couple things not returning, but we'll talk about it.
right now we got to creep through this very dark and gloomy-looking industrial building. Ooh.
Watch your motion trackers.
What the hell is that?
June, you see anything?
Negative. Thermal's clean.
So yeah, June's providing overwatch. I think you can actually see him up on one of the ridges around here if you look real careful.
I would believe it.
I'm not sure which one, sadly.
Yeah, look, more just of this evolution of Bungie finally giving environments like incredible context. Look, we're in a small little farming village. They have these little tiny boxes full of plants that they eat. And irrigation spouts. You know, it's raining right now, so maybe it's not totally necessary, but it's just so good. Reach is
Silo, yeah.
Reach is like a very believable series of places that we'll visit.
It's good. It's real good. And it really helps sell the weight of the story they try to push, right?
Yeah, because
in these,
you know, it's recognizable as human stuff, and we're humans. We like human stuff. We want to protect human stuff.
Yeah, generally we want to keep the people safe from.
Some
yeah, I'm not
propaganda?
sure what these posters mean.
I mean, this one seems pretty propagandish. I don't. Maybe. M. Don't.
M.
Don't let people steal your M.
Yeah. Okay. I can see that.
I see movement outside your structure.
Noble 2, move up to the west. We're about to be flanked. Contact!
Jackal. Wait, that's not a jackal. It looks different. That's a skirmisher.
So yeah, they in addition to some a couple of new Covenant, they completely redesigned all the Covenant visually as well.
They did. It's not super obvious right now, but once we see the elites, we'll notice it, and it's a thing that doesn't make a lot of sense to me because they look nothing like their previous ranks.
I mean, I think it was just they figured out how to get more polygons in the budget and they wanted to spend them, right?
Yeah.
Heads up, Charlie 1.
More contact.
So yeah, this is what we're talking about when we say the story kicks off a little too fast. We're already just rocking up against like Banshee flights and Covenant squads.
Yeah. The Banshees are also redesigned. This one's... that one's not quite broken. They lost their little engine nozzles. And we can see there's like an aerial battle. The Spirit dropships are back?
Yeah?
Because
Remember
it's a prequel. We will see Phantoms as well, but like the Spirit dropships are still in use. I like that. I like the Spirit dropships. They are a very unique design that I feel... The Phantoms are cool looking, and they're very memorable and iconic of like the Covenant aesthetic, but the Spirits just have a... I don't know. They look good.
There's also a very raw utilitarian aspect to this Spirit design that I really like.
Yeah.
This ship is designed to deposit dudes. Here's the dude part, here's the part that flies. That's it. Like...
here we got a Needler. The Needler's good in this game. Here's why. Because it fires way too fast.
And it doesn't take many needles to get the super combine in Reach.
No. Plasma pistol, of course.
Stand down, Noble. Stand down. Contacts neutralized.
Still does the dispersion pistol thing.
Cat, we gotta warn Holland. I need you at that relay outpost now.
Boss, I'm showing more activity to the east.
Copy that, June. We're on it. 6, you got point.
Alright, that's us.
So we're pushing across very large swaths of land.
And with not a lot to break them up either.
Also, wildlife. I'm sure you
Yes.
noticed the ostriches running before.
Yeah, the
past us.
ostriches. So weapons, I'm sure people have noticed me firing in short controlled bursts. Weapons work a little differently in Reach. They have spread that grows as you fire. People aren't a fan of it. I can see why. I think it's fine, largely. I don't really have a huge amount of
Oh, I reckon the grenades are back to coming straight from the front of you.
Oh,
and
I've
not from,
died.
like, somewhere
Minus
above
50
your head.
points. Yeah, no, the
Oh, no.
grenades are back.
I believe we only get the 2 kinds of grenade, don't we, in Reach?
Yes, we're back to frag and plasma. We only get to keep 2 of each, though, however, which is... I don't know, I feel like if they were gonna give us back 2, they could at least give us the 4 each. There was another weapon over here. It's the plasma repeater. This is not the plasma rifle. This is a heavier version of it that has an overheat mechanic, like the plasma rifle did. But as it fires, it gets more accurate and fires slower. And then, yeah, you can vent the heat.
So here are our elites, which we should probably take a closer look at.
Yeah, well, they talk. Enjoy the subtitles. Yeah,
so elites are now very bulky.
Very bulky. Their armor is incredibly detailed. Lots of different versions of it. They got their weird hats like they had in Halo 2 for those guys in the audience. But yeah, you know what? I still don't know what the analog to blue is. Which is... Yeah, hold on, Carter. Sorry. I know you said no lone wolf shit, but I have a co-op partner. Don't worry. Yeah, I'm still not sure what the actual rank analogs are. I'm sure if grilled, I could tell you, like, the white ones are probably the blue, and this one's probably the red. Just based on the number we faced.
Well, the implication is also that these guys here are like a special sort of advanced force, so they get different color rankings than the regular, like, units.
Well, maybe.
Well, you know, as we go forward, we get that anyway. Oh, hey, look, big old hay bales. That's right, we are on a farm, aren't we? Oh,
no, it's good.
Hush. The ostriches have found a place to hide, and now they won't be quiet about it. Oh, off they go. But, yeah, so we talked a lot about the look of things in the Halo 1 video, and we kind of briefly mentioned it in Halo 2. We're going to talk about it a lot more in Reach, because Reach is a very big divergence in terms of visual aesthetic for the franchise.
Which is another reason I say looking at it as a standalone game is probably the right call. New vehicle, civilian pickup truck. 2-person, and then George does this to make it a Warthog.
It's really good.
We're gonna have to leave Carter behind. Sorry, buddy.
He'll be fine, I'm sure.
It's very silly.
Rebels don't leave plasma burns.
So there's a couple... Again, let's talk about what we said in Halo 1. Useless areas that just add. We don't have to stop here. We can. We don't get anything from it, but look, it's a little animal pen.
Yeah. Reach even has areas that are optional.
Yeah.
Crazy, right?
Also, Reach's vehicle handling is much closer to how it was in Halo 1, and I could not be happier. Halo 2 and 3 made the vehicle handling so stiff. And Reach is back to this horrible, slippery bullshit. Like, look at this.
Which is semi-justified, what with all the rain and mud, but
Sure.
it feels good.
A little shack, a little lean-to.
Probably shelter for the livestock. I guess they farm mowers out this way.
Maybe. We'll see a couple pieces of endemic wildlife. Nothing terribly up close. I think you can see some birds later. We'll definitely see some larger creatures in a bit. Yeah, we're just going through this massive area. And you can see structures. Here's some skirmishers on the lookout for stuff. An elite.
Also, I forgot to point it out at the time. George was speaking something very clearly not English.
Yeah.
I believe it was Hungarian. Yeah.
Believe so.
Or, it was either Hungarian or like Dutch or something like that.
Noble leader, I'm seeing heat sigs in the
Look at
structure
this.
ahead.
Another thing you might have noticed is that we have a health bar underneath our shield bar.
We
Almost
do.
like it's Halo 1 again.
Yeah. Look,
So
a
you need health
bedroom
packs. Yeah?
and a desk.
Looks like
I
a clear
love
container.
this.
There's a kitchen down here. Like a proper kitchen.
Yeah, like this is literally just a civilian house. Like, here's their garage. Here's their living space.
And, again, you might ask, okay, sure, why are you geeking out about it? Well, because it sells that someone lived here, and now that we're being invaded, we can be like, oh no, people have been driven out of their homes, or their homes are coming under attack, and...
Or they've been killed, and that makes me sad because I like humans. I
Yeah.
am a human. I want to protect them.
But, it's, you know, creating that Oh, yeah, over here, perfect. This is a perfect example.
Those bastards.
And
He
then
was
there's
just
a data
doing his
pad.
laundry.
Data pads are the collectible for Reach. We're not going to worry about them.
Yeah, they are. They tell a story about, like, a hacker man learning something. I have all of them. It's... Again, it doesn't actually factor into the story at large.
No audio to them. They are just text, though.
Yeah. And this looks like a little, kind of a capsule sleeping arrangement, almost.
But, yeah, fun fact. Remember when I mentioned optional areas?
Yeah.
We're in one of them.
Yeah, we could totally just drive past this entire place. Like, I came up this area a weird back way.
Mm-hmm. See, look, there's the dropship. That's where we're meant to go.
Yeah. Also, point towards health packs again. We saw a health pack. You grabbed one from the kitchen in this house. Oh, what's this over here? A second health pack?
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, it looks like... Much like an ODST, now that I've played that one again. The return of health packs, it's good because there are enough of them.
Yes. They still try to place them in areas that make sense, but they're also not shy about just slapping them everywhere they can.
Yeah.
But, of course, you can't just pick them up. You actually have to walk over to them and interact with them.
You do, which is weird, considering ODST just had you... Oh, sorry, Carter.
Touch them.
Please don't.
Boss, I'm showing more activity to the east.
Don't demote me for that.
Yeah.
Advise you check it out.
Oh, hey, look, that bridge is blown.
Oh, no.
I wonder if that was the Covenant destroying infrastructure to prevent, you know,
Picking up a
strategic
distress
movement.
Or was it the insurrections?
Does anyone read?
Maybe.
Is this Joel Hodgson?
I'm not sure.
I have wondered this for 10 years.
Solid copy, Commander. Recalling Falcon Charlie 2. Hold that evac position.
Ordnance,
Be
huh?
advised, I have visual on inbound Covenant dropships. Evac transport, keep your distance.
So yeah, you'll notice, now that I've pointed it out, that George actually has, his shields react differently than ours. Because he's a Spartan too. He gets the weird orange glow.
It's the Covenant. We know, Corporal. Let's get you out of here.
So does everybody else.
Yeah, his is a You'll see it when he takes some hits.
Well, anyway, here's the DMR.
Hey, the DMR, the best weapon in the game. And that's not an exaggeration.
So there's just a regular blue elite.
Yeah. They finally gave the grunts helmets, by the way.
Some of them, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no. So, okay, we saw Carter just use something. That's armor lock.
The armor ability that a lot of people get very heated about in the multiplayer context.
They sure do.
Excuse me, George, I need to go find a health pack. Oh dear, there isn't one in this garage. Let me check the upper story.
There's one next to me at the mouth of this area.
Oop, excuse me.
Out of ammo. Oh no! I missed my punch. Oh god.
Oh, I think I just bopped you.
Oh, it's fine. Where'd that...
So yeah, we just came...
LZ is clear. Move in for evac.
Affirmative. Transport inbound.
So yeah, we just got attacked trying to link up with the remaining Marines there.
Yeah. Also, wooden barrel. Fuck off.
Time to barrel.
Well, it looks like it's time to link up. So, I guess we'll ride in the Falcon, which itself is a new vehicle.
Yep. No pelicans to be seen. Well, yet.
Yeah. And you might be excused thinking this is the end of the level, but it's not.
We're at the relay outpost. Doors locked.
I should have gotten in the seat you did.
Beat it.
I dial up my torch, cut away from
You get to enjoy the
Gonna take
skyboxes.
some time.
Okay. We're en route to your location.
Well, you'll probably have noticed by now I've spliced in footage of me riding on the other side that gets to see the landscape. But yeah, this is still one big area. You know, obviously there's some culling and loading going on behind the scenes, but remember, Halo 3's tiny, tiny little areas.
Yep.
I've got visual.
Oh, where are we going now?
Approaching the comm outpost.
See, our team split up to report that we were being attacked by the Covenant, and it would appear the Covenant are happy to use divide and conquer tactics.
Yeah. Oh, that was a fun little ride. Jackals again. There they
So
are.
hey, I saw this big dish in the distance before, and in any other Halo game it would just be like a scale model, basically, that uses trickery to make it look like something distant.
I'd argue that in any other Halo game we wouldn't even see it, because there are no landmarks in Halo games.
You know what? That's fair.
Also, I think
yeah,
it's
here we
time
go.
to finally answer the question. Yes, I can drive this.
Finally! The might of the forklift will crush the Covenant Empire under its heavy wheels. The tides of justice charge forth.
Unfortunately, you cannot raise or lower the fork. That is actually a cut feature. They wanted you to be able to, but they removed it. Eagle-eyed viewers will remember from previous Halo games, I was actually using a nameplate in the menus that showed that I had killed somebody with the forklift.
It's very difficult to do.
It is incredibly difficult to do. This thing moves at approximately half a mile an hour. And can't turn worth shit. So, like, I'm gonna die here. But yeah, like... Oh, I might have actually gotten somebody. Or maybe that was you getting the point. It moves so slowly that you cannot easily get the splatter metal because it just pushes somebody, it doesn't impact them. So you have to, like, get it going down a ramp towards an AI that doesn't know you're there because it's still so slow.
Or drive it off of a, like, elevated surface onto the
Yeah.
enemy. Soundtrack is swelling here as we make a stand because we need to get the word out. Covenant's here.
Oh, this is why I wanted to turn scoring off. And lets me talk about something. I hate how the Halo series does scoring, because it's like, if you die too many times, it turns off your ability to get points. Which I think is stupid.
It's a bit silly. It's an odd quirk. I think it's because they want you to, like, oh, you got to do it right, you got to beat it in one or something like that. You can't just war of attrition with the checkpoints.
I guess, but I don't know. It feels bad, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh hey, I found an armor ability up here. I can show off the armor lock.
Oh, my bullets are bouncing off of you.
Everything bounces off of me, including
something weird that you'll notice, or maybe you didn't notice, and I'll point it out for you. The jackals have changed handedness. Their shields
they're all...
have the notches on the other arm now.
And the thing that makes it really funny is that they always had, well, in previous games they had 2 notches, and now they don't.
Yeah.
They've only got the 1 notch, and they've changed handedness. Oop, yeah, needle lock, that's what we need. Needle is out of ammo already, jeez. Alright, we should fall back with the team.
We should. I'll use my armor ability to sprint there.
There's a rack of DMRs here.
Yeah.
We need to find the control room. From there, Cat can get the relay back online. Emil, post here. If we flush any hostiles, they're yours.
So still not the end of the level.
Nope. Now we're pushing into the facility.
Halo Reach's levels are long. I don't think they're... Like, this episode's obviously longer because we were talking about some stuff for the first time, but Halo Reach's levels let you do a lot of different things. It's not gonna be like Halo 3 where it's disable a couple anti-air guns. Okay, you're done. Happy 20 minutes. Like, this is... I mean, you were here, you saw it. You know, investigate this town, this village. Oh no, the Covenant are here. You know, force your way to some rebels who are caught. Then go to the signal outpost to try to get the message out. And then, like, oh no, it's down. We have to figure out why. Each level is just so broad compared to the rest of the series.
And it helps sell the story because you know the chain of events makes sense.
All right, but
okay.
Surely this will be the end of the level.
Where's the rest of your unit?
We got split. I don't think they... It sounded bad on the comms.
All right, Corporal. Stay put. We'll get you a combat surgeon.
Damn. Plasma damage.
Oh dear.
Found something. I'll take that, 6. Not your domain.
Well, I was giving it to you, Cat.
Come on.
Cat's a little... Cat's a little brusque. This lady is a little unintelligent. I don't know if you punch
George,
metal.
I got her. Keep still, and I'll release you.
Hungarian.
Hungarian, there you go.
Oh, hi.
Whoa!
What's the status? Over! We've been engaged!
Oh shit, butt rock.
Bad guy coming out!
So you see here, they tried to redesign the elites a little bit and give them something of a lower jaw, so it's not just exposed esophagus.
That Tango group has permission to pursue.
-4, stay on the entrance. 2, handle her. 5 and 6, clear the hole.
Let's go get our boy back.
Yeah. So, something we do see kind of with this cutscene. Halo Reach is presented as if it were kind of a found footage sort of thing.
Yeah.
Look, George just threw a flare.
Yeah.
So
It's dark.
just about every cutscene you'll see has an in-universe explanation for its camera angle, whether it be from our own helmet cam, somebody else's, or a camera somewhere in the environment. Also, yeah, Return of Halo 2's butt rock. Which I think we should explain. Maybe some people aren't familiar with the term butt rock. The best I've come up with to describe butt rock, because it's really something it's difficult to explain, but once you get it, you understand. I would say butt rock is rock music that is generic, but uncomplicated and non-threatening.
The origin of the term is radio stations that would want to play rock music, but obviously couldn't afford the licenses for, like, the big names, right?
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, it's a rock music station. They play nothing but rock, right?
Yeah.
But, of course, the music they're playing is the cheap-to-license, easy-to-get, generic, inoffensive, you know, electric guitar with some drums.
It's rock music you could have a 90-year-old super conservative grandma listen to, and she'd be like, "Oh, that was pleasant." She wouldn't go on the anti-rock music, it's for devil worshippers tangent. Skills, or what weapon are you using? That looks new.
This is new. This is the concussion rifle. This fancy-looking elite over here was holding it before we executed him. It's basically a Covenant grenade launcher. It has an arc and everything.
Ooh, exciting.
It has a very small area of effect, but it hits like a truck. You really don't want to be on the bad end of one of these.
Yeah, also I finally pressed my night vision button like it told me to earlier, and yeah, far away from ODST's detective mode, this is just kind of like, yup, it's a light amplification mode.
It's dark in some of these areas.
If you need me
So yeah, the grunts are full of methane, same as always.
Yeah.
There's more.
Oh, there's more.
I've got you covered.
I'll go around. I'll use my sprint to get there.
Nice. We'll go up here.
Oh, another concussion rifle.
Oh shit, that elite has an energy sword. Not anymore, though.
Get that. So something that I think is great about Reach is the areas that you fight in. They really play to the AI's strengths.
I need you to reset a junction. Do it. Get back.
And this is a good example because that doorway creates a funnel, and the elites are happy to sort of stay back and just plug at you as you try to push in.
Yeah, because it's like, oh, it's just some grunts. I'll get up close, and then a guy with an energy sword comes in. It's like, I have made a mistake.
So yeah, we've finally come upon the end of the mission. So
yeah. So this
we'll
cutscene's gonna be the end, and we'll see again some maybe questionable camera placement, but we'll talk about it. Yeah. So this has been the start of Halo Reach. Again, I really like this game.
I do too. It's good. It's a good game.
So, see you for the next one, and enjoy whatever happens next. Who put this here?
Question of my life.
Maybe my
question
guess
is, when will the station be back
is
online?
that if the rebels
2
broke
weeks,
this, they might have
earliest.
put a camera there to see
Plasma
who
damage
comes to
or
fix
major
it.
uplink components
That,
of
Or
that
like
does
2
make an
minutes
amount
is
of
too long.
sense.
which is why I'm splicing into the main overland bundle to get you a direct line to Colonel Holland. You're in my light, Commander.
Yeah, Cat, again, a bit brusque.
Find out what she knows.
Very matter of fact.
Yeah?
What's your name? Do you live around here?
Emil, not much for empathy.
Arnevin George.
Whereas George here is our gentle giant of the team.
Your accent sounds familiar. Chapron?
Tangari,
Friend of yours?
father.
Sha'ainalom. I'm sorry.
Why would you be?
Big man forgets what he is sometimes.
She just lost her father. She needs a full psychiatric workup.
She's not the only one.
Lock it down, both of you. Get her on her feet. The body stays here.
Thank you, sir.
Carter is very much the commander. He just wants the mission taken care of and doesn't want any shit from anybody. They're archetypes. They're very obvious
Signal.
stock archetypes,
patchy,
but I
but
think
it's
they're
there.
played
take
very well. The voice
not
actors
touch
do a good
anything.
job. The
We didn't want to
animation
drown
is
this place.
very good. And you do get a feel for who they are, even if they're fairly shallow.
They actually managed to do a lot with a little.
Colonel,
in
this
this
is
game.
Noble One.
They serve
There
the
are no
story
rebels.
being told
The
very
Covenant
well.
are on reach. Acknowledge?
Come again, Noble One? Did you say Covenant?
Affirmative. It's the winter contingency.
We're never going to figure out what that
May
means.
God help us all.
Nope.